The Big H Podcast, tune in now. Conversations that'll wow. Laugh and learn, stay a while. Let's explore that Hilton style. From the highs to the lows, every story just explodes. Mike's got questions on the go, diving deep from head to toe. Every week the guests align, sharing moments so divine. Stay with us, the pace is fine. Every episode you'll find. The Big H Podcast, tune in now. Conversations that'll wow. Laugh and learn, stay a while. Let's explore that Hilton style.
Ryan Rockefeller, take two. It's great to have you on the Big H Podcast once again.
Thanks for having me back, Mike. I'm glad to be here.
For those of you that are just joining us, Ryan was on our episode number 85, and I'll put a link on that in our comment section if you want to hear all the ins and outs and maybe a little bit more on Ryan personally. But today we're going to talk to him about his involvement in America 250, the local flavor of it, and just what he's been involved in over the course of how long. Ryan, how long has this preparation work for America 250 been going on for you?
Definitely over a year. The conversation probably started 2 years ago, just like with the the infamous eclipse, the talk. So we kind of earmarked it a couple years ago, knew about it, started really revving up, I would say about a year ago with the historical crew. So, Crum and Lepore and Wheelahan, Pickett, and Freeman. So all those people, they've had a huge hand in the committee in pushing things forward and making, America 250 great for Parma.
Now, personally, did you enjoy history when you were growing up?
Oh, I still enjoy history. I loved history. That was like my favorite class. I still listened. On the way here, I love history, different parts of it. Well, actually all of it, but I have favorite parts of our history. I'm actually listening to a podcast right now. It's called History That Doesn't Suck. And I'm on Prohibition right now, Al Capone. So,
that sucked depending on
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right. Al Capone made out, well, not in the end, he didn't make out that great, but during, yeah. So yeah, I really love history. It just intrigues me. I love, knowing where we came from, just like the little tidbits of history, like, something so minuscule swung our history in a force we don't even understand or never know. So those things are really cool to me. So I don't know, I just love it. And, and then I also love finding out the little lesser parts of history, or, the people that were too, there was a general, I can't remember his name, but in the Civil War, he was one of the most honored Civil War vets, and I don't think he ever lost a battle, but he wasn't as revered as Robert E. Lee or Ulysses, because he just didn't write a memoir about it. He didn't write it about it. He didn't say anything about it, but he was just so yeah, it's just kind of crazy how those types of things, what do they always say? The victors, the victors
go the spoils.
Yeah, write the history. But some people are just too humble or just don't care about it enough to put their own self out there. And it's just so that unknown history, unearthing that and learning about that is just fascinating to me. I don't know why. My wife calls me a nerd. We're complete opposites. She is a math. She teaches math, high school. And I watch documentaries. I'm watching a documentary on FDR right now on Netflix. So whenever I throw something on like that, she just, I'm not in history class. Do we have to watch this? So complete opposites. But yeah, I love history.
Well, it's good. You're spending your time watching historical documentaries. You're not watching Big Bang Theory or The Office.
I do sometimes,
which are good shows.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying
Parks and Rec. Yeah.
You talked a little bit about certain events that swung things in history. Speaking about the American Revolution, can you cite any off the top of your head?
You put me on the spot. The swung, I'm sure there's so many little instances that
Yeah, Ryan, as I was saying, you made a great point about things in history that swing. If they went this way, could have gone here, could have gone
Mhm.
there. Is there anything that you can think of in the American Revolution off the top of your head that swung the war in one way or the other?
So one thing that I find fascinating is honestly George Washington. I think he was the most perfect pick um, for commander in chief, and I think a lot of people in Congress they supported that. Some did, some didn't supported it, and I think they wanted like a Virginian to kind of lead the army, so there would be more solidarity between the North and the South of the colonies to kind of to fight. But the one thing that I really find fascinating is Washington retreated a lot. Like he, in the first years of the war, it was always about fighting another day, you know, because if he kept pushing or fighting, he would lose. Casualties would be catastrophic, and we'd end up losing the American Revolution way before it even started. But he would always find a way to fight another day, and I think that was his greatest achievement, is just find a way to win, you know, and pretty much outlast your opponent. And that's kind of what that out of all those years, it's kind of what happened. So I find it very fascinating. He In the first couple of years of the war, there wasn't that many victories whatsoever, and you know it was daunting. So again, he just had that will just to keep moving, and I think he had that stoicness about him to lead men and keep his cool. I mean, he didn't even take a salary to be commissioned as commander in chief. I think the only thing he wanted was expenses paid.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he was, you know, wealthy plantation owner, but yeah, I just that like so like that kind of stuff just fascinates me, and just understand, like, you learn about that in high school, you learn about that in your college classes, but like you don't learn the inside thinkings of someone, you know, unless you're taking a deeper dive into those documentaries or literature or whatever it is. So to me, that's fascinating. Like if it wasn't George Washington as the commander in chief, would we have won the Revolutionary War? Would we be British colonies still? So like that to me is very, very cool. So picking that right individual at the right time, leading that army it's cool. So I'm a nerd.
It's all right. No, and
Yeah.
I like how you summed up his strategy: live to fight another
Hmm.
day, and that can be applied to a lot of things,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
not just battle.
I'm applying it to myself right now for the summer. I just gotta
Well,
live
you're a
another
new
day.
dad, right?
Yeah.
You lived,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Now you speak of summertime. Tell me a little bit about your niche and involvement in America 250.
Yeah, so there's representatives from all over the town and village, and mine is, you know, I'm the town representative in the recreation department. So one of the cool things that we've actually done, I've done as part as a committee member, is we got America 250 onesies. So it says red, white, and blue on the
Wait, not for
onesie.
you to wear.
No, I mean, yeah, it'd be weird, but yeah, it's for the little ones. It says America to, or it says red, white, and blue. Hilton Parma's littlest firecracker on it, you know.
Cute.
And yeah, so it's cool, and we're giving those out for free to any child born in 2026. So all they have to do is register for a onesie, and we got 50 of them right now. We're giving That's actually going on right now. So just a cool little thing to highlight not only America 250 but Parma too. We've been doing we're preparing for Summer Smash, which is July 24th at Parmatown Park, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we're having a America 250 theme with our Summer Smash, and we have invited the Historical Society out, the Sons of the American Revolution. They're coming out. I have Genesee Valley Country Museum coming out, and then I have Arc and Flame coming out, and they're going to do like a kind of American 250 area, if you will, at this event. And The museum, they're gonna come with staff members dressed in 18th century clothing, and they're gonna play games, and they're gonna just kind of do like a lively scene of what a regular day in 18th century would look like. The Sons of the Revolution, they're gonna be dressed up in wartime attire during the 18th century and come out with muskets and all that stuff. And the blacksmith is going to be doing some blacksmithing techniques or making something that was prevalent in the 18th century. So it'll be kind of cool. Like in that little area of the event, you'll quote unquote be able to step back in time and learn about the history of not only the Revolutionary War, but the past 250 years. And then also we doing a drone show again this year at America 250. It's a pyro drone show, so we're doing fireworks and a drone show. So that'll be America 250 heavy. We're gonna do some America themed things throughout the evening. Our giveaways that we're gonna have light up like little pins that are flags. We'll be giving those away, and then just throughout our department in general, little things are doing. Sherry Farrow, she's our senior coordinator. She just she's taking a group of seniors to Fort Niagara, and it's like kind of that America 250 theme, and just stopping along the way. And there was like a maple syrup thing that they stopped at, so just kind of that's part of our history as well. Maple syrup in this area in the southern tier is huge. So along the way, they visited that syrup company, and then Fort Niagara. So just little things that we're kind of sprinkling throughout our programming and events. There's a couple other things that we're trying to do. I'd love to launch a scavenger hunt. I'm trying to do that, but I just don't know if that's going to be possible with everything going on in my schedule. I know that Amanda Dudley, she did a walking tour for all the Revolutionary War vets buried in Parma. So there's so many other things happening, and that's what's great about this committee is there's so many facets and so many different peoples that they're kind of doing. We're all doing our own things, but together. Like Jerry Pickett, I'm sure he probably had him on, but he's doing a time capsule too, and they're going to do an event later in August burying the time capsule. Margaret Wheelahan, she's doing a ton of things. Like there's a coloring book, and there's just so many cool things that everybody's doing on this committee that I'm proud to be a part of, and highlight not only America the past 250 years, but Parma too as well. So local history, which I always love.
And the thing I've gotten from talking to people individually that are on the committee is the humility of which they approach their project, and in which how much they appreciate everyone else that's in the project. Like no one's trying to get out in front of the next one and try to outdo the next one. It really sounds like your Summer Smash, again, that's on July 24th from 5 to 10, right here at the Town Hall. It's going to be quite the undertaking. Oh, yeah. Are there going to be food trucks or food there?
There's about 15 food trucks. We usually have around 20 to 30 just vendors that come out. We'll have a kids zone with free games. There's about 5 to 6 attractions, like a climbing wall, bounce houses, just free activities for families, and free giveaways. It's a free event, free family fun, and a midsummer night. So it's always one of my favorite events.
Let's pray for good weather, but I think even with dicey weather, people will show up. How do people register for the onesies? You said you got 50 of them available.
Yep. So they can go right on our website. Just go to hprecreation.org. If you don't have an account, you have to make one. But if you do, you just go into our drop down of our programs. It's probably in youth programming or toddler programming. And you just go down, drop down. It says Parma's Littlest Firecracker, I think is what it's labeled as. You go click on that, and then you just register for your onesie, and then you can just come pick it up in the office between the hours of 8 to 4:30.
Now, I've talked to you before, and you're an idea type of guy too.
Yes.
And you explained how you wanted to try a scavenger hunt, but due to some other things, you might not be able to do it. Are there other events besides a scavenger hunt that maybe you can't do for America 250, but you could push it off to another time?
Oh yeah, like a scavenger hunt for sure. I think I might. So I've done I love scavenger hunts, and I've actually done scavenger hunts in the past that have highlighted local history. So that was kind of the idea, is do all those like little one-off scavenger hunts and kind of pool it together. And what I wanted it to be was Parma 250 instead of America 250. So all the last 250 years of Parma. So going all the way back, 1776 in Parma here, where there was nothing, but obviously Native Americans. So that's where we would start and then work our way back from there. I still would like to do that. I still think it's something I want to put together. If it's not this year, I think it'll still be next year. Because like I said, I've done so many different types of scavenger hunts. We used to do a golden apple hunt, which was really cool. We did Wherein the Wolf is Hadley with my golden doodle. We did like a Halloween scavenger hunt. So I used to do those all the time. And then just with my job and the evolution of my progression and where I am, it's tough because it takes a lot, like having to figure out the clues and what history and making sure it's right and on point, and then making sometimes like for when I did my first scavenger hunt, I thought I made the clues kind of hard. I was like, I want the clues to be like somewhat hard, but then achievable, so it's people don't get bored of it or get frustrated. Come to find out, we have some really smart people in this community, and they found it out so quick. So I learned my lesson the next time.
Way to go, Hilton.
I learned my lesson the next time to make it very hard.
Okay.
So like again, even then, it was I thought I made them harder. But people, they know their stuff, man, and they know to go, which is cool, because then they're going into the historical society and talking to Dave Crum or Nancy Lepore or whoever that is, or they're going to the library and picking up a old Hilton book. So that's really cool. That's kind of the consensus is behind it, is learn about your local history, but then also, go to somewhere you haven't, go to the library. You haven't been there in years. Go to the historical society. I remember one year I did one of the scavenger hunts in the summertime, and I was talking with Dave, and they had like during the scavenger hunt, so many people came into the historical society. I think they had like 10 new memberships just from that scavenger hunt. So there's some really cool things that happen behind the scenes with those type of programs. The little tangible things that I didn't expect. I didn't expect that to happen. I didn't expect people to do that. And then there was also like a community. So I put it up on Facebook, and then I made a game page, and then people were interacting on the game page, and it was really cool because they were, oh, I remember this as a kid, or oh, I went there and I couldn't find it, I couldn't find the apple, and like, oh, they were like congratulating each other and like, kudos to you. So that was like a whole nother thing I didn't expect, is like this kind of community to grow around these scavenger hunts and support one another and throw ideas at each other. And it was just, to me, that's cool. Making that and fostering that, hosting that, that grassroots kind of community is really cool to me. So like, again, I think I want to do that for sure. If I can't get it done in the year 2026, I still kind of want to, I think, still do that, because it's really cool. It's just a cool activity, to a cool program.
I hear the word cool coming along.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I just keep...
No, that's fine. You kind of piqued my interest into another question. In an age where digital technology dominates, how can we use modern platforms to make history feel exciting and relevant to younger generations? Me speaking, I teach third grade.
Yeah.
They love to go on YouTube or a video game, but how can we use that stuff to...
So, like, we've used it in a couple different ways. So I think what I talked about is the kind of like the platform. So using social media to engage the families, and that's what the scavenger hunt was intended to do, is to try to reach multi-generational families, so everybody could be a part of it. So the younger generations, they use Facebook, or they use Instagram, or they use whatever social platform that we're doing the game on, or the scavenger hunt. And then they would go to grandma or grandpa to ask about, hey, here's this clue, or, do you remember this when you were growing up? So a lot of that kind of stuff happened. Like grandkids were bonding with their grandparents over the scavenger hunt because they had the history to share. So that, to me, again, was really cool. So I think fostering that, and just using social media for programming in that type of way, making it fun and engaging, has tons of benefits. I'm not a big social media person, but I think there's tons of benefits. Obviously, there's negative effects too, but I think that's a great way. Some other things that we did, I don't know if it's more on the learning side, but we did. Um, E-gaming. We did a lot of, when it was really big, we did a lot of e-gaming a couple years ago. And again, not really teaching, but we did like Roblox. They did some like some Mario Kart, I think it was, or something like that. So there was a rec leader who was here. He's not with us anymore, but he did a bunch of that e-gaming stuff because he was into it. And from what I know about it, I'm not a gamer. There's a pretty large community around that e-gaming, and it's big and it's growing. And there's even, from my understanding, is you could go to college and get scholarships to go do that.
Yes.
And there's like professional
True.
leagues now and sponsorships, and there's quite a bit of money to be had if you're really good at it. So there's so many different ways to foster education, learning, community through social media. You just got to find the niche, and I think we hit it on the head with that scavenger hunt series. So again, that's why I think I'd like to go back to that, and I think also just I think people love to see those like throwback, the throwbacks and the. I know the Historical Society does a really good job with that. They do like throwbacks of what the town or the village used to look like, and I see a lot of interaction on those pictures. So even something as simple as just throwing that out will start a conversation, and it'll just go from there. So,
Thanks. What does the 250th anniversary mean to you, and why do you think it's crucial to celebrate this milestone?
Oh man, we could spend a lot of time on that answer. So I think what I think is important is, I think it's important to know your history, know where we came from, so we don't make the same mistakes. We learn from those mistakes. It seems like a lot of the same stuff. It seems like every century we just kind of repeat ourselves. But I think it's very important to know where you come from, to know why things are the way they are, and sometimes question those things. Maybe maybe this shouldn't be here. This law shouldn't be here this way. Or so again, just learning your history, you'll understand where you come from. You'll understand your roots and kind of your identity. And what it means, what America 250 means to me is kind of just that, is just looking back, understanding where we come from, understanding history isn't always shiny, and it isn't always pleasant. We have some really great pieces of history. We have some pretty awful pieces of history. And that's, I think embracing that and understanding that and having a conversation about those types of things, I think is important. And I think some people feel very shameful about our history, which I don't think we should feel shameful, because I know that hopefully doesn't sound ignorant. I don't mean it that way. But like, we weren't there. It wasn't us. Yes, it was our ancestors, but that's why we learn our history, so we can do better than what our ancestors did, our forefathers, so we can progress in a positive manner jointly together as a country. I just think there's so much division right now. There's just so much division. There's just so much. I don't know how to put this. I don't want to say fake news, but I guess I guess there's just a lot of stuff like there's just a lot of information out there that is false, that isn't true, that might be tweaked a little bit. So again, going back and learning the actual history from reputable sources, I think will help us move forward, in understanding where we come from, and joining us together. As American citizens, I think would have a positive outlook on our future. So again, wrapping it back all up, I think what it means to me, America 250, is again the story of us, where we coming from, and then moving forward together as a nation, in a positive collective manner, I would say, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
There was a lot of words.
No, and I think really what, you talked division, but I also think there's more that binds us together, and
Absolutely.
we need to be able to see that, and we need reputable, trusted sources to do that.
History that doesn't suck.
Right.
I'm telling you, that's a great podcast. It's a great.
He's promoting it.
It's a great general history. It doesn't get too deep into a lot of things. It gets deep into like the Civil War. It gets deep into World War One. It gets deep into like there's multiple episodes about it. Sometimes there's just one or two episodes, like Ellis Island. I think it was just one episode, but it takes me back to like my high school history class, and it gets into some of the nitty gritty stuff and in those like those little lesser known things, but it doesn't get too into it. It doesn't get I don't know, it's kind of confusing, but it doesn't like jump in the nitty gritty. Like, there's one episode where if you go to a podcast about World War One, you're probably going to have 100 episodes about World War One, where this one, it's only like 3 or 4. So again, if you want to learn history, just general history, it's a very good, I guess, refresher of our American history. So it's really, really cool. I'm telling you, if you want to just get a really good scratch of the surface of where we were, from colonial times to now, it's a good one.
And I kind of like the title "History That Doesn't Suck" because I think, unfortunately, we're being told history sucks.
Yes, yeah,
it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Again, we have
yes, there
parts
are
of history,
yes, I agree.
but it doesn't suck because it's who we are. Though. It's like that's how I see it. It's who we are. We can't change it. You can't change the past, but how do we move forward together, learning from those types of mistakes that were made and those types of decisions that were made, and that's another thing that I like about this podcast. And it goes back to the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, and then it even gets into the minds of some of our forefathers that were writing the Constitution. And like, I won't get into it that much. I don't want to, but if you go listen to it, it'll talk about like the struggles that some of these individuals, when they were writing the Constitution, how like, they struggled with some of the wording and some of the laws that they put in the Constitution. It was, it just gets into the minds and how contradictory some of these people, some of these individuals felt, about some other individuals, Yeah, so it was. It's interesting. Like I said, I don't want to get into it too much. I don't want to, but if you want to learn more about it, go listen to History That Doesn't Suck.
Well, as you can tell, I'm a big fan of podcasts, and I'm a teacher. So my teacher summer, I'm going to hit into that.
There you go. Absolutely.
The semi-sexquentennial, I think I said that right, isn't just about looking back. It's about looking forward. What is one major challenge facing the country that you believe we can overcome in the next 50 years? You kind of intimated upon it, with reliable sources, maybe social media. I don't know. What do you think?
You think we're gonna? What was the question again?
The basic premise is: what's one major challenge facing our country that's going to need to be ironed out as we face moving forward from today?
So, I think I'll go back to what I said earlier. Is just I see it. I mean, we all see it. I talk to people, and I know that they feel the same thing. Is the division? There's just so much. When I talk to individuals, I watch what I say a lot more than I used to, because it's not about disagreeing now. It seems like, well, that's just not right. It's not. You're disagreeing with me, so you're wrong. And I see a lot of that. I see a lot of that going on, and so you really have to watch what you're talking about, what you're saying. And I'm not saying I'm going out there and just being a bigot and putting people down and just being. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we're having a tough conversation about something we disagree on. That's fine to disagree. Let's disagree. Let's talk about it. But, I'm not going to hate you because you have a different view on me, or a different view from me. So I think like just getting back to that, understanding that everybody's different. Everybody comes from a different facet of life. Everybody has different upbringings. Everybody has their own pile of crap that they're dealing with. So like, it's okay to not think the same. It's okay to not be the same. It's okay to not I don't like what you like. It's okay to not, it's okay to disagree with that. But how can we do that, but still be kosher with each other, still be friends, and then move forward to, again, a joint effort. So I don't know. I'm not that smart to figure out all of that, but I think just honestly, just, being a good person, sometimes when those types of conversations happen, or it's hard to hold your tongue, and not speak up about what you believe. And I'm not saying don't fight for what you believe in. I'm just saying if someone's has a different perspective or opinion from you, respect that, I guess, and then respect and disagree, have a conversation. And so, yeah, I think just being a good person and getting along with each other, even if you just don't agree, if you're different perspectives, it's, I think that's, being neighborly. I think also, I think I've always, from different sources or whatnot, I think there's a growing epidemic of loneliness, which is ironic because we're so connected. But I think that connectivity, or that like that social media, you feel connected in a certain way, but you're only connected through your phone. You're not connected through this actual, interpersonal style with us sitting right in front of each other. So I think like that there's a lot of loneliness. There's a lot of people out there who, are kind of by themselves and secluded because of mainstream society and how it's kind of projected right now. I think that's an epidemic. Is people are, they need somebody. They need somebody in their corner, and I think that ties in, with mental health and support. And so yeah, I think those are two big things. So I guess what I'm saying is be there for one another. Be there for one another. Be a good neighbor. State Farm is that. No. But you get. I think that kind of ties it in all nice. Is just being a good citizen and a good neighbor, and just being there for one another, no matter what the person is going through or what you're going through. And I think that fills your own cup too. Is like if I'm there to help somebody. I feel good about myself. I'm not doing it to feel good about myself, but like, hey, if I pick somebody up and have a conversation with them because they're having a bad day and they thank me about it and say, hey, I need that. It just makes me feel good about myself. So I think like just being a good person. Maybe, sorry for that long explanation.
No, it's okay. You said a lot of profound things. I want to see if you can finish this statement. You were born with 2 ears and
a brain.
Hopefully you have a big brain and 1 mouth. My mother used to say that.
Yeah.
Listen more.
Right. Yep.
Again, on one of these podcasts, you hit loneliness, which I think is a big thing.
Yes.
And loneliness, according to this one doctor, it affects the very young. You're 15 to 19-year-olds,
yes.
And then you're very old.
Yep. Even in like I see it happen in I'm 39, and I feel like, because you get to a certain point where like, it's hard to make friends. Like I'm 39 and I'm like, I have my friends from high school. I have my friends from college. It's like, I probably will make new friends eventually because I have a 1-year-old. So right. I'm going to have to take him so like eventually I'll be forced to make new friends, but like I'm good with the friends that I have. But I see that. I do see that with some people around me where it's just hard, again, you've known those people for, 2, 3, 4 decades. So it's like, why do I need new friends? Or, people are kind of, I don't want to say standoffish, but like, if you're in a clique of people and you're hanging out, like it's hard to go up and talk to those people. It's hard to do that type of thing. So it's, I see that. I to your point, I think it affects everyone. It's just, I think it's a big epidemic, and I think it has to do with I mean, again, it's one of those negative. Social media is great, but it's also has its negative effects, and I think that's one of them. Is just that I don't think that's the whole reason, but I'm just saying it's a big part where it's just, I don't need to go out and meet people. I can sit right on my couch and just meet people and see what they're doing, and I can go to
See
wherever
what they're
I
thinking.
can go where I got virtual reality now, and I can sit in my couch and just go wherever I want to in the world. And again, that's great, but it's always nice to physically do that kind of thing. So, and it helps with mental health too. I know when I'm out in the park or when I get outside with my family, when I spend time with my family and friends, like I feel better. I was literally the other day, I was worked at my house all day. I was supposed to go out. My brother was up from Saratoga at my parents, and I was supposed to go see him. I was supposed to go hang out, and then it was like, I don't know, it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I was tired. I was grumpy. I took a shower. I said, Eric, I'm not coming out. I'll come out tomorrow. And so I sat there, and I was like, man, I feel like a turd. I was like, my family's up. I haven't seen my nieces and nephew in a while. So like, I was like, all right, I just went out there. I was just I was just tired, I was exhausted, but like I made that effort to finally go out and see them, and I hung out with them. We didn't end up getting back to like 10, 11 o'clock at night, but like I felt good. I felt good. Like I just felt like refreshed. Like I got to see my niece and nephew. I got to see my family and talk with them for a couple hours and just sit on my mom's front porch and have dinner with them. And like, honestly, sometimes that's all you need is just sit on a front porch with someone and, have a cup of coffee or whatever your choice of drink is, and then just share stories. I think that's do wonders for people. Connectivity.
Well said. Okay. Probably this is my last question, and then we'll wrap up. If you said earlier that Jerry Pickett's involved in a time capsule.
Yep.
If you had a time capsule yourself to be open at the 300th anniversary, America 300, so that'll make you 89.
Okay.
And hopefully you're still alive
Yeah,
and kicking.
hopefully.
What items or stories or technological achievements would you want inside it to represent our current era?
Oh, man. Huh. That's a great question. What would I want in the three?
Think about what we got
times
and what's going to be important for that to remember.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm just jog maybe your podcast that you're talking about. Podcast, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. What would I want to put in the 300-year anniversary?
think about your little 1-year-olds, your onesies for America.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Think about stuff maybe for the America 250.
Yeah. I think if I was going to put something in the 300-year time capsule for Parma, I think what we're doing now, I think you're right. Like the onesies would be kind of cool to put in there. I think what you said, the podcast, just I think that's just the America that or history that doesn't suck. I think that should just be in every time capsule throughout history, and just kind of add to it. But I don't know. I know this is kind of cliche, but like just I don't know how you wrap up. The personality of a community, where we are now as a community. I've been here for 11 years, and I think this community is very tight knit. It's very, I see it with my own eyes. People are so willing to help each other out, and back each other up. I mean, yeah, there's, whatever. There's bad apples here and there. They're everywhere. But
Well, it is Hilton where the apple.
the rotten apples. Hey, pun intended, right? So, but I don't like. So, how do you wrap up like the little village with a big heart? Wrap that up where we are now and take the positives from that, and then put that in a time capsule. I don't know how you would do that, but like, and hopefully take that to the future, and see how people. In 300 year or the 300-year anniversary, see how people were treated each other, and not only treat each other, but how they in a time of need. Because this is happening now close to me with a couple people in this community where like they're going through some things, and just the way that people just they just collectively get together and help these people through these awful times. So it's the positive personality of a community. I don't know how you would.
I was thinking maybe a drone.
Oh yeah, drone. That would be cool. Yeah, drone show. And I'm sure there's a lot of good things I could throw in a time capsule I'm going to think about after this podcast.
You know that sometimes whenever you do a podcast, then you get off, and 20 minutes later, you're like, oh no, you've been very insightful through this whole podcast. I mean, I think what I can you give the date and time again for Summer Smash?
Yeah.
American 50?
Yep. So Parma's Summer Smash will be Friday, July 24th at Parma Town Park. It's going to be 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Alyssa Tran is our headliner, and our opener band is Jack Thomas Band. So we're going to have two different bands. We'll have a pyro drone show. We'll have 15 to 20 food trucks, about 30 vendors, free games for the kids, free giveaways for families. It's just going to be a fun night of just activities so come on out, come say hi to us, come check out our rec tent. We got some free stuff to give away, so we hope we see you there.
Well, Ryan, you were on episode 85. You can catch that episode and the link in the comment box. Thank you for joining me. And, well, America 250 is just down the road from me, so I'm going to take a stop by and probably talk to you again after that.
Thanks, Mike.
You take care.
Appreciate you having me on.
The Big H Podcast, tune in now. Conversations that'll wow. Laugh and learn, stay a while. Let's explore that Hilton style. From the highs to the lows, every story just explodes. Mike's got questions on the go, diving deep from head to toe. Every week the guests align, sharing moments so divine. Stay